This is speech two. It's actually speech three, I believe, for public speaking. I look a little bit out of it. I'm sorry. This is just how the camera is. My speech on law enforcement response to mental illness, subject I have a lot of experience with. I worked in Clark County Jail, worked in Sparta Police, worked in currently work in China State Prison on a mental health dorm. So it's a subject I have a lot of knowledge on. So I wouldn't say that mental illness is not necessarily stupid. It's certainly not the case. Many people with mental illness are extremely bright. They just have an issue. In fact, Monroe had a mental illness, as did Einstein. What I want to talk about is law enforcement response. Last in the 60s and 70s, they closed down a lot of mental health facilities across the country. So a lot of people were left on the street. They couldn't get jobs. They didn't have any place to go, so they became homeless. A lot of them became drug addicts. A lot of returning veterans, PTSD, and other things like this. What happens is these people commit crime. They steal little things. They drink a lot. And they basically act disorderly, and they've been known to kill officers. Story from 1995 in Oglethorpe County, which is the county my father lives in. Man hadn't taken his medications in a while. He was very bipolar, extremely bipolar. Deputy sheriff who responded, he was known to be kind of laid back guy. He went to the house and he said, "Hey, let's come out here and talk about this." He'd known the man for years. They went to the same church. Well, the mental health guy ended up shooting with a deer rifle, which the deputy wasn't wearing his vest to begin with, but that would have stopped him. The vest would have stopped a rifle bullet like that. Myself, like I said, I worked in Clark County Jail. I used to work dorms. I had a guy named Pimp Joyner. Pimp Joyner, God bless him, had a lot of folks locally say he had a root on him. I don't believe that one. He was out there though. He rumor is lost his wife and his mom and his daughter in a fire. So he played with water all the time. He was homeless, and he was also, kind of wish I didn't notice, but he's also well endowed. He used to walk around downtown Athens with this thing hanging out, and needless to say, they kind of arrested. Go figure. Well, Pimp was, he wasn't so much dangerous as he was just he was out there. He'd do what you asked him to do, but Pimp wasn't playing with a full deck. He had PTSD. Another incident from Sparta. I had a guy named Hacksaw. Hacksaw drank a lot. And he had been an upstanding citizen when he moved to Sparta, but some things happened in his life, and he took drinking and lived behind a Sparta's downtown. Well, he could tell when it was going to get cold because he'd get locked up. He'd pick a fight with somebody and go, "Bring it to the saw." Well, Hacksaw hadn't won a fight in 20 years. And he ended up getting arrested. I always made a point to buy Hacksaw milk. Just, I don't know. Felt bad for him. But still, that was kind of unusual. I kind of felt it never be rated. Currently, I work on a health one. And my feelings on the Department of Corrections, they have changed. It's not somewhere I recommend anybody working, but what I got to do is not make a comment. It's an important job. But, to work this norm, I had to go through 3 days of training where they explained all these mental health illnesses, PTSD, bipolar. There's a lot of medications out there to help these, but some of these medications, they just put them to sleep. Had the two walking around like zombies. I have one guy who, for some reason, has adopted me. He thinks I'm like a father figure. He'll walk around me all that time. It looks like Winnie the Pooh. And the only thing I see wrong with him, he's got a pretty low IQ, and he's probably in what people consider slow classes. And he got hemmed up in an armed robbery. It's tough because I see a kid like that, and I'm not a liberal by any means, stretch of imagination, but he is maybe he'd come from Alpharetta or Roswell or even Henry or one of those counties, not the projects of Atlanta. Maybe he wouldn't be in prison. Another kid who's in there for he's in there for drug possession. Well, he got a string little over here too, and it just seems like maybe we're getting more and more crack babies. Maybe more and more of the crack epidemic from the '80s is affecting us now on the streets and in the prison system. You know, in Milledgeville itself, where I used to live in Sparta, they shut down the big mental health facility. They put a lot of people on the streets. You know, that used to be the biggest in the country. So there's no easy answer, and there is a lot of training out there now. You know, in Memphis and Smoky, I heard they have a CITT, which means they are certified to do that. That's their main job, and they've got a lot of training in it, and that's good. We need more of that. Me, myself, I'm studying psychology in school. I think we need more of that. But some of the old ways aren't working, you know, and some of the ways people do things, you know, we got you see a lot at the department, you see a lot in other places. So what I think needs to happen is we need more training. People need more training. When some of these vets come back, statistics from actually an old George Jones video, something like 50,000 people died in the war in Vietnam. Since that war ended, something like 100,000 committed suicide. That shows me something, that there are people out there who brought back something they couldn't. And there are more and more homeless veterans, and that's something that's unacceptable. So maybe incarceration isn't the answer, but we do need better police response. And the fact that an officer is more likely to be killed by somebody who is mentally ill than somebody with a prior felony, that says something right there. And talking to these people like their children isn't the answer. Certainly isn't. Incarcerating isn't always the answer. But things need to change from what they are. And we need more outcare. We need more outcare facilities. We need more outpatient help. That comes with tax. I don't know if tax dollars are the right answer in the profit sector. I mean, you know, nobody wants to pay more taxes. That's just God's honest truth. But they don't want these people. They don't want somebody with a mental illness always hanging around their house or anything. And I think the element of decriminalizing mental illness needs to come, because it is kind of a trend in a lot of large cities to criminalize homelessness, which I understand. I thought Mayor Gianni did a great job in New York, but one of his main things was he locked up a lot of homeless people. In Atlanta, during the Olympics, they bust up a lot of homeless people in downtown and drove them down to Macon. Yeah, Macon really needed that, along with their other homeless folks. That's something Macon really needed. But I think the element of decriminalization needs to happen. I think maybe more group homes. A lot of times the family can't hold the burden, because a lot of people don't know they don't come from a affluent family, or their family's given up on them. So that's my report on law enforcement spot. I appreciate your time. Thank you.